One of my customers tried to fix the scratches on their Quest 3 lenses, but they ended up making it way worse. It looks like they used some kind of polish, and it actually distorted the surface of the lens. And so now when you look through it, it's really wavy and weird. Fortunately, this is something that I can fix, but it's not in the way you might expect. I'm gonna fix these lenses using sandpaper. Now, in my experience, there is a right and wrong way to do everything, and especially when it comes to lens repair, you have to be really careful with how you do it, and every case is a little different. This approach is definitely not something that I'm gonna recommend if you just have a little bit of light scratching, but when you're dealing with a surface that's already been distorted, there's only one way to get it back to some kind of normal. And if you're concerned about changing the shape of the lens or removing the blue light coating, well, I would say just don't worry about that too much because it's already damaged, at least in this case. I have 3 different types of sandpaper that I use for this: P2000, P2500, and P3000. I also need a cup of water because one of the keys to the secret sauce here is getting the sandpaper wet. And then I'm gonna go over the whole surface of the lens in small circles. I wanna distribute pressure as evenly as possible. That way, I'm not really changing the shape of the lens, I'm just reducing the depth of it by a really small amount. Obviously, you don't want to use so much water that it spills over into the headset. Now I've gone over the whole surface. That weird texture that was on the lens and the leftovers of the blue light layer are now totally gone. So we're going to hit this with the 2500 next, and the 3000 very last before we polish. You can already see that lens starting to shine up too. Finally done with evening out the surface, and so it's time to polish. I like these little wool bits the best, and I've had a hard time finding something that works better for this job than Polywatch. And instead of just cleaning this off with the microfiber, I'm gonna buff it off. And what we're left with is a nice shiny finish. But if you wanna take it one step further, the way that I do, and get the best possible result, you're gonna need some synthetic car wax. Adding this step really improves the finish of the lenses and gives them a little protective layer. Once it's dried, we can go ahead and buff that in too. And what we're left with is a lens that looks shiny, smooth, and basically brand new. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more VR related content like this.